21st century American culture is one of instant gratification. There is very little in our lives that we have to wait for. I'm reminded of this every time I take photos of my children, of course with my cell phone. They instantly run and want to see it, and they can. But it used to be that we had to wait weeks to see the pictures that we took because we took them with cameras that had film that needed to be developed. And in a thousand other ways, technology has sped up our human desire to have what I want now. And some of this is really good and very helpful. Others, not so much. It comes with a cost. Perhaps the greatest cost of instant gratification is in our relationships, where we find that healthy, joyful, and deep relationships never come instantly. And so often we find ourselves unsatisfied with our friendships, with our marriages, with our churches, because they don't have the sort of effect that we want so quickly. I hope that some of you find this different in the Christian community, because you should. The local church should be a place where deep, healthy, joyful relationships are worth developing over a long period of time. And so I would encourage you to invest in your relationships in your local church, that your most healthy and deepest and most joyful relationships are with the people who are your brothers and sisters in Jesus. Because one of the reasons that you need deep relationships with people in the Christian community is that you and they will meet adversity. Many Christians will face intense persecution for following Jesus. Others in cultures like ours are often marginalized at home or at work for their faith. Most people will face issues of sickness and pain and suffering regularly in their lives. And all of us struggle with temptation and sin. And so we need people who are utterly committed, yes, first to Jesus, but then to us, because when we are confronted with the adversities of this world, the support of the Christian community will not only sustain us, it will deepen our faith and love. Listen to how this is described in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 3. Says, "We ought always to give thanks to God for you, brothers, as is right, because your faith is growing abundantly, and the love of every one of you for one another is increasing. Therefore we ourselves boast about you in the churches of God, for your steadfastness and faith in all your persecutions and in the afflictions that you are enduring." And did you hear what he said about that church? That their faith was growing abundantly, that the love for one another was increasing. Isn't that what you would want in your local church? Even if you are very discontent and dissatisfied with what you have in the Christian community, wouldn't you want faith to be growing? Wouldn't you want love to be increasing? How can that happen? Well, listen to what he said in verse 4. He said that he boasts about the churches because they had steadfastness and faith in persecutions and afflictions, and that they were enduring those things. Now, if we look at what is happening in this church, that they're growing in faith and love, and that is connected directly with their enduring of the afflictions and persecutions and adversities of this world, we will make the connection that when Christians have an enduring love for one another, we are able to endure then the difficulties of this world, all the while we are increasing in faith and love. See, faith in Jesus and love towards one another is what helps us to endure these afflictions and persecutions together. So brother, sister, do you face adversity in your life? Then run to the church. That is where you will meet the love of Jesus through the people of Jesus that will sustain you. Yes, it takes time, it takes commitments, it will take work. It is not an instantaneous love, but it is worth it. Because the more you suffer adversity together, the more you will increase in enduring love for one another and faith in Jesus Christ.